This 1 Degree Outside video is sponsored by the Topsfield Fair, America's oldest fair. You can pre-order your admission, meal, and ride tickets today at topsfieldfair.org and join the fun October 4th through 14th, conveniently located on Route 1, just off of Interstate 95.
Hey everybody, meteorologist Danielle here for the 1 Degree Outside Weather Network. This is your insight video, the deeper dive over the next several days, and it should not be a shock that we've had a deficit of rainfall. This is over the past 30 days. Most cities and towns across New England, 1, 2, 3+ inches below where we should be over the past 30 days. Couple exceptions to that, right? The drought monitor gets updated every Thursday, and it takes the last week from Tuesday to Tuesday into account. I would be shocked if these areas of abnormally dry conditions as of last week from southern Maine, southeast New Hampshire, and right over the border into northern Massachusetts and Essex County are not expanded because it has been so dry. So not drought conditions, but it has been a dry stretch for sure, and there's not much in the way of precipitation chances in the days to come. Let me break that down. You heard Matt talk about it yesterday. We get this tropical moisture, a couple different waves of low pressure off to the south, pockets of flooding from the Delmarva down into eastern Virginia and North Carolina today. This wave of low pressure comes closer to us by tomorrow, but it's still offshore. So that means the bulk of the heaviest rain is offshore as well. Though for our Wednesday evening and night, the South Coast, Cape Cod, perhaps as far north as Boston, it's going to be a real sharp cutoff here on the northwest side of how far north and west that precipitation shield will be in place. Now, by Thursday, there's still some pockets of drizzle the next few days because of a persistent onshore wind and some low-level moisture and clouds that come in. Friday, a chance of a passing shower, but you get the idea. Nothing in terms of substantial rainfall that comes down for many of us. A new area of high pressure builds in for the weekend, too. Great for outdoor plans. Saturday and Sunday, there'll be some pockets of clouds around and maybe a stray shower. We'll talk more about the weekend in the coming days. Either way, it'll definitely feel more fallish, 60s and 70s, as opposed to last weekend when it was definitely a late summer feel in the 80s, appropriately so for this weekend as the autumnal equinox kicks off Sunday morning and fall begins. How much rain potential? Not much. You notice most of us are dry. Again, this is tomorrow evening, so Wednesday evening into Thursday morning, maybe a few hundredths. Now, if we can get that precipitation, that shield, and some of that moisture to come a little farther north and west, that could shift these numbers a little bit farther north and west into the city of Boston, maybe Providence too. But notice the greatest chance of picking up closer to a half an inch or an inch comes on Cape Cod and perhaps along the immediate southeast coast of Connecticut. One thing that will happen as that area of low pressure approaches, though, is our quiet seas that we have had 1 to 3 feet, which will last through the day on Wednesday. We'll start to see an increase by Wednesday night into Thursday, some 5 to 7 footers, especially offshore. And then by Thursday night into Friday, that expands northward. So our offshore communities, our offshore fishing communities, will see some 7, 8 foot seas as we head into Friday and lingering into Saturday. Persistent onshore wind too. Astronomical high tide. There may be some splashover or some minor coastal flooding, particularly along the south coast, that occurs by the end of the week. So we'll keep you posted on that. All right, let's take you through some of the numbers. 70s to 80s from south to north because there'll be some thicker clouds in southern New England for our Wednesday. By Wednesday evening, again, it's a chance of a shower along the south coast to Cape Cod. Wednesday night will be in the 50s to lower 60s. Thursday, 70s for many of us, although far northern New England with the most sunshine out will be up near 80. There'll be some thicker clouds that may be a little bit stubborn, particularly over southeastern Massachusetts on Thursday afternoon and evening. Now, Pats at the Jets, MetLife Stadium, Thursday evening football, 8:15. No big weather issues. You notice temperatures will be running in the mid-60s, a lot of clouds. There will be a gusty wind out of the north-northeast, occasionally to 20 miles per hour through the duration of the game. Otherwise, by Friday, 60s to lower 70s at the coast with that onshore wind. I do think we have a lot of clouds because of that wind coming in off the ocean, some low-level moisture, maybe a shower on the Cape and through the interior passing. Warmest temperatures found in western New England, mid to upper 70s. Saturday, 60s for many spots, central eastern New England. Varying amounts of clouds and sun and into the 70s here from the Champlain Valley back to the lower Connecticut River Valley. Temperatures will be pretty similar on Sunday, too, running in the 60s to some lower 70s through the interior. Don't forget, we get the partial lunar eclipse later on this evening. Matt talked about that in our Noises notes earlier this morning, which you, of course, can find all of our weather info at our website, 1degreeoutside.com, and on our app, which is free in the App Store and Google Play.